The MV Joola wasn't just a ferry. She was a source of pride for Senegal, a vital connection between the busy city of Dakar and the remote Casamance region in the south. She carried families, traders, students, and their hopes for the future. Twice a month she made her trip across the Atlantic, a lifeline for communities separated by the Gambia River. The Joola, with her white exterior and blue trim, represented hope and connection for many. But beneath her sturdy appearance, a tragic story was about to unfold. On September 26, 2002, the Joola began what would be her last journey. The afternoon of September 26th started like any other departure. The Joola, packed with passengers and cargo, left Dakar harbour under clear skies. Music filled the air, children played, and the familiar sounds of the ocean gave everyone a false sense of security. But as night came, the weather changed dramatically. Strong winds stirred up the sea, and the calm waves turned into huge walls of water. The Joola, overloaded and unprepared for such a storm, was thrown around like a small toy. The storm revealed the serious problems that had long affected the Joola. She was only supposed to carry 580 passengers and crew. On that terrible night, she carried over 2,000 people, many sleeping on the deck because there wasn't enough room inside. Years of neglect and poor upkeep had caused damage. There weren't enough lifeboats, and the ones they had were in bad shape. The crew, though experienced, were overwhelmed by the large number of passengers and the powerful storm. In the early morning of September 27th, the unthinkable happened. The Joola, unable to handle the storm and her own instability, capsized in less than 5 minutes. Thousands of people were thrown into the dark, rough waters. The news of the disaster shocked Senegal and the world. The scale of the tragedy was hard to grasp. A nation lost many of its people in a single night. Amidst the terrible loss, there were some signs of hope. Amazingly, 64 people survived. They held on to floating debris, fighting exhaustion and the harsh weather, their desire to live fueled by thoughts of their loved ones. One survivor, Maritime, a young student, remembers the fear of that night, the cries of those who were lost, and the mixed emotions of being rescued after hours in the water. Her story, like those of the other survivors, shows the strength of the human spirit. Section 6, a legacy of grief and reform, the aftermath. The Joola disaster left a permanent scar on Senegal. The nation mourned, struggling with the huge loss. Families were broken and communities were devastated. The government was heavily criticized for its role in the tragedy. The investigation showed many failures, carelessness, corruption, and ignoring basic safety rules. Section 7, the Joola's warning, maritime safety in focus. The Joola disaster serves as a serious reminder about the importance of safety at sea. The tragedy affected the shipping industry worldwide, leading to calls for stricter rules and better safety measures. The International Maritime Organization created new guidelines for passenger ships, emphasizing the need for proper maintenance, enough life-saving equipment, and following passenger limits. Section 8, remembering the lost, a nation's scars. Years after the tragedy, the memory of the Joola still affects Senegal. Memorials serve as sad reminders of the lives lost and the lessons learned. The disaster showed the human cost of carelessness and the importance of taking responsibility. It reminds us that even in peaceful times, the sea demands respect and careful attention. Section 9. Conclusion, never forgotten, forever a lesson. The sinking of the MV Joola wasn't just a tragedy for Senegal, it was a wake-up call for the whole world. It showed how fragile life is at sea and how important it is to put safety before profit. Though the Joola now lies at the bottom of the ocean, her story continues to be important. She represents loss, but also resilience, reminding us that even when faced with terrible tragedy, the human spirit can survive.